The film opens in a busy airport. Chloe's flight has landed, and she walks in the main hallway. She calls her mom and tells her she will be home soon to surprise her father for his birthday. Her mother says her dad just left because he was called for work. Chloe asks what her father's flight number is, and she says she will be home later. In the meantime, Ray parks his car on the airport's parking lot and takes his wedding ring off his finger. He meets with a beautiful flight attendant, Hadi, and they walk in the airport together while being in a flirty and playful mood. Chloe meets a young journalist, Cameron, and saves him from a crazy lady who tells him Bible conspiracy theories. Cameron sits with Chloe and wants to buy her a coffee, but Chloe says she is waiting for someone. Chloe sees her father and Ray sees her. They get together, and Cameron gives them some space. Chloe tells him she came to surprise him and expresses how worried she feels about him and his mother. Ray says he and Irene are going through a phase, but Chloe's mother means the world to him, and he would never do anything that would break their family apart. Since Ray is a pilot and he has to fly a plane to London, he has to leave. Cameron rejoins Chloe and asks her if she is okay. They have a sit and talk. Cameron tells her about the story he wrote, a story about a village that was hit by a tsunami. He talks about a woman who thought she was saved by God, even if many other people died. However, she refused to leave her village and was killed that same night from a massive amount of mud that covered the village. Cameron says that if you try hard enough, you will always find proof to support your beliefs, even if that means neglecting a part of reality. Cameron has to catch the flight to London, while an employee gives Chloe 2 tickets to a concert in London. He tells her to give them to her father. Chloe gives the tickets to Cameron, since he is flying to London, to give them to Ray. Cameron gets on board and gives the tickets to Ray. The flight is ready for a takeoff. Chloe returns home and is greeted by her little brother Rami. She has a talk with her mother and tells her she met with Cameron. She says there was a crazy lady telling him about how the world is coming closer to its end each time there is a new catastrophe happening. It seems like Irene is not the only one who believes those kind of theories. Irene tells her believing in God and his signs is important to her. Chloe tells her that God is the one responsible for Ray not spending much time at home because he has been sick of Irene's theories. Moments later, Chloe takes Rami for a ride, and Rami says that Ray believes Pastor Bruce is brainwashing their mother. Chloe takes Rami to the mall, and he asks her if he could buy a drone he likes. Chloe tells him no, and they walk around the mall. Rami asks Chloe if Ray told her how good of a baseball player he is, and Chloe tells him he is the best player in the world. Chloe hugs her little brother, but suddenly an abrupt sound signals the event of something peculiar. Rami disappears out of thin air, and the only thing that remains of him are his clothes. It seems like the event has just happened in a larger scale, since many people have disappeared. In the plane, the situation is not very different. Half of the passengers have disappeared, as well as Ray's co-pilot. Ray locks himself in the cockpit, while the passengers bang on the door, demanding to get some answers. Ray orders the passengers to return to their seats and wear their oxygen masks. When the situation calms down a bit, he walks out of the cockpit and tells the passengers that he does not know what happened, but he will let them know as soon as he has more information. For now, they will continue as scheduled, as his top priority is to take the passengers safely to their destination. Cameron walks around the plane with his camera and shoots a video, trying to describe the incident. The world has turned into chaos, and people's dark side has emerged on the surface. Inside the plane, a blonde lady is having a panic attack, and Cameron kneels next to her, trying to help her. The lady gets up and runs in the plane's bathroom. She looks at her reflection in the mirror and says this must be just an illusion she is having, due to the abuse of drugs, and it is going to be over soon. Chloe navigates her way around town and stumbles upon a bus that has crashed. She tries to look for any survivors, but can't see a single soul. Back in the plane, the blonde lady comes out of the bathroom, and Cameron helps her get back in her seat. He sees her veins and realizes that something is not quite right with her. The lady says none of this is real. She has even written on the backside of her arm the phrase, "It's not real." Cameron tells her to get some sleep and plugs her music to her ears. Cameron approaches another man and asks him if he noticed anything out of the normal, like any sounds or weird flashes. The man knows nothing more than everyone else, and he is not in the mood to talk. A religious man stands up and tells everybody they should all start praying for help. The bald man gets up and asks him which god they should pray to. The religious man tells him they can just pray. Ray and their air hostess he's been flirting with are the only ones remaining from the crew. Ray announces he is going to turn the plane around and fly back to New York since he can't establish communication with London. Hadi tells him she is scared, and the passengers are terrified as well. Ray tells her they are the only ones left, and he needs her to concentrate and help him as much as she can. The plane's radar catches something, and Ray tells Hadi to order the passengers to sit down and fasten their seatbelts. Ray realizes there is another plane coming their way, and he tries to communicate with it and warn them they are in his airspace. However, the other plane's cockpit is empty, and there is nobody to read his message. Ray takes the plane 1,000 feet above the other plane and manages to avoid direct collision, even though the planes scratch each other, and the other airplane seems like it's falling. The passengers argue about what must have happened, and they suspect the religious man of being a terrorist. Another man in glasses says this can't be a work of something human. Whatever happened is out of this world. Hadi walks near Cameron and asks him to take some pictures of the plane's wing to show them to the captain. Cameron takes some pictures and Ray looks at them. Ray comments that they have lost their ability to slow down smoothly when they land, but thankfully the New York airport has a long airstrip. Ray asks Cameron to go and take another look at the wing and report back to him if he can see any liquid running. Cameron does so, and he sees they are losing fuel. Meanwhile, Chloe is looking for her brother and wants to search for him in the nearest hospital. She can't get in by using the front entrance because a large crowd has gathered. She breaks a window from the side and sneaks in. She looks for Rami at various hospital rooms. When she walks into the nursery room, a woman approaches her from behind and scares her, telling her that all the kids have disappeared and that this is happening all around the globe. All of the characters try to find out what the meaning of this incident is. The ones who have had some experience with religious matters conclude that all the people who disappeared were taken to heaven by God himself. Only the worthy and innocent have been taken. Chloe goes to the local church and meets Pastor Bruce. She asks him how come he is still here, and Bruce says it's not enough to just preach the words. You have to also believe them. Bruce adds that God took his true believers to save them from what's coming next. Ray has a short communication with the control tower and one of the staff members, Marcus. Marcus says they can't land in any airport because the situation is messy. Ray asks what should he do and tells Marcus he is low on fuel. Marcus tells him he has to go inland and try to land, but Ray tells him that is not possible. He needs a runway. Communication is suddenly lost, and Ray has around 20 minutes to come up with a decision on what he should do. Ray has a short talk with Cameron, who asks him if he has any backup plan. Ray says they need a runway to land, and Cameron asks if they can land on the sea. Ray says that is not an option. If they land on the sea, the plane will be torn apart into pieces. Ray is worried and says he doesn't want to lose the passengers he is carrying. In the meantime, one of the passengers approaches the blonde lady, and it seems like he's known her from the past. He used to work with her father. He says that if what she said about the vanished people being in paradise is true, he hopes his own daughter is not home when he gets there. Ray tells Cameron to try and call his daughter. Cameron replies that he's been trying to call Chloe this whole time. Ray says he should have never left home today. In the meantime, Chloe has climbed to the top of a bridge, and she talks to God. She says she blamed him for all of her miseries and apologizes. When she is ready to jump down, her call beeps and she is able to speak with Cameron and Ray. Ray tells her he is sorry and explains the whole situation to her. They lose communication, but now Chloe finds a new meaning and wants to help them. She rides an abandoned motorbike and she reaches a new highway that is still under construction. She communicates with Ray again, and Ray tells her he needs about a mile to be able to land. Chloe gets in a pickup truck and tries to clear the highway of the obstacles. Ray tells her he needs some kind of visual assistance to be able to see where the landing point begins. In order to help him, Chloe lights up some barrels full of gas and creates an explosion. Ray and Cameron see the explosion, and Ray directs the plane towards the highway. Ray lands the plane, and the highway proves to be just enough. All the passengers are safe, and Hadi helps them get out of the plane. Chloe reunites with her father and Cameron. Cameron takes a look around and comments that it seems like this is the end of the world. Chloe corrects him and says this is just the beginning of it. Subscribe and hit that like button to help our channel grow. Turn the notifications on so you won't miss any of our new videos. Thanks for watching.